Hello everybody out there on YouTube, and today I've got a nice fun little video for you guys. This is my small collection of railroad engineer caps, and I'm going to go through each one and where I got it, how I got it, and everything. So let's start out with the oldest one that I've got so far, which is this one. So this is my Frisco Cap. I've only actually had it for a little while, but I got it from a friend who bought it at the Frisco Train Museum here in Frisco, Texas. And after I started doing more work with that museum, I asked if I could have this hat, and he said if he could get me, or if I could get him a different engineer's cap that didn't say Frisco, I could have it. So I did, and that's how I got this one. Now this one is different in the fact that this one is actually a proper engineer styled hat. Like, this is the one that everyone thinks of when they think of an engineer, because the main pot, like these little bits right here, I call them pockets, but they don't really, you can't really put anything through them. But these little things are actually smaller than on most hats that you can get, and also it's got an elastic back end to it. So basically when you put it on, it kind of forms this sort of shape. If I can show that. It forms this one instead of the bucket or slant back caps, which are what those are, and I'll get to those in a minute. But yeah, so that's what this one does. And I've worn this one the most out of all of them, and I've done a lot of railroad work in this one. You can kind of tell there's a bit of some discoloration around the brim of the hat. That's not sweat, that's actually from rust, dirt, grime, and whatnot. There's some of it under there as well, all along the edges, and a little bit on the top. A bit hard to see, but by far the one that's been most worn. So here's that one. Now this one I don't actually own. I'm still getting this one done for someone else. This is one of my friends' caps. This is Sam's. As you can see, this one's a snapback, and right here, if I can get it to look. So I call these ones the bucket ones because these are so big that when you put them on, they usually slant backwards like that. They don't actually do what the other one does. And also, the brims are very wide. They're a lot wider than, say, this one. This one's a little bit more narrower compared to that one, as you can see. Although similar style, but it's definitely got a thicker, more rigid brim, and as you can see, it's got the snapback on it. And these are the most common. You can get them for like 15, 25 bucks, and this is an adult-sized cap. So yeah, there's that. It's very nice, very cool. And then this is another version of the bucket helmet, and this one has a logo on it. Props to who can make out what that says. I don't know. I totally don't know. But anyway, as you can see, it's got the pockets again on the sides, except the pockets on this one, it's got the snapback thing. And I've got to get this one fixed because this little thing has come off, but it still works. Just a little dab of glue on the back will fix that. But yeah, it's very nice, and I'm trying to remember how much these are, but I think they sell these in Grapevine for around the same price, $15, $20-ish, I guess. Very cheap, very nice. But again, the brim on this one is actually slightly wider than the other one. And also the material as well, the cloth is a lot more itchy, I guess you could say. These two, meaning. But yeah, but these ones are essentially the same, except this one, the brim is just a little bit more curved instead of flat like this one. This one's very flat. And then we got this one. This is a small pink engineer's cap. It's kind of the same as the Frisco one that I showed, except this one, instead of it being rigid, like this one's made out of a very soft fabric, very soft. And this was originally bought with the intention of dyeing it red, because I wanted a red engineer's cap, and this was the closest that I could get to that. But eventually I started using it for the month of October to raise for breast cancer awareness, as in my family, breast cancer is very prevalent. However, it has always been caught early enough on to where it won't kill. So yeah, That's why I've got this one now. And I'm going to put the little pink ribbon on it eventually for that, if I can find a pin for that or something like that. But yeah, I really like it, although it's a bit of a tight fit on my head. So yeah, there's that one. And now on to my favorite and also my newest one. This is what I would call an 1860s through 1890s engineer's cap. This is what an engineer would have worn, or at least this style of hat. Most people call it the Greek fisherman style cap, which is true. I have a green version of one of these, except, you know, it's green. It's not like this. It's not made out of this cotton. It's made out of a, what's the word? It's made out of corduroy. And as you can see, it's got the little strap that goes on the front. I'm probably going to get a black version of this, so that way it'll match the hat a little bit more. But yeah, this is by far my favorite hat. It's also, yet again, it's a bit small for me. Just a tiny bit, not a lot. But it fits really nicely. Again, bit tight, but still, I like it. This is my favorite style, and if you're going for like an old Western engineer look or a Civil War era engineer, this would be your hat, basically, your go-to hat. But yeah, it's very nice. So yeah, that's my engineer's cap collection. I hope you all have enjoyed watching it and me showing off all the hats. Although I think it's going to shrink by one in a couple of weeks if things work out. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed and see you guys later.